PopCap signature Brain Eaters are back in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2, a kid-friendly online shooter based off the popular mobile franchise. So, is it worth it? Let's find out. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is a difficult game to explain. The concept itself is easily recognizable. It's a third-person class-based multiplayer shooter with earnable upgrades. No, the real trouble is pinpointing exactly why it doesn't work. The stages are bursting with personality, the roster and their abilities are, for the most part, varied, and the game modes provide competitive, cooperative, and single-player challenges. But somehow, all of this can't make up for a lack of real enticement and satisfaction. Let's take it from the top. Garden Warfare 2's main draw is its chaotic online multiplayer. The cartoonish undead take on the adorable, yet violent vegetation for dominance of suburbia. Deathmatch, domination, and even a version of bomb defusal featuring explosive garden gnomes round out the game's competitive play, while the cooperative horde mode returns with a new zombie variant. But the newest addition are the bite-sized single-player missions. Though it's essentially the same as the tower defense mode without human players and more traversal, it allows players to familiarize themselves with the diverse roster. Each side features 7 unique playable classes, with 6 new characters added in this sequel. The scrappy zombie imp can quickly take out enemies with his trusty pistols, but sports a low amount of health until he can call in his deadly mech suit. Citron's laser weapons and shields make him capable from any range, but his ball form allows for a quick escape. On their own, these debuting competitors flesh out the gameplay in some meaningful ways, such as Captain Dreadbeard and Superbrain's main attack changing from close-range strikes to long-distance projectiles when zoomed in. But when compared to the returning cast, they feel downright overpowered. For instance, Rose can transform zombies into goats, while the original Foot Soldier can jump high? New versions of combatants can be unlocked by purchasing randomized sticker packs, but they never truly break out of their established mold. While this added level of imagination is welcomed, it's a shame more attention wasn't given to enhance the 8 out of 14 characters, leaving this sequel with the feeling of a smaller roster despite nearly doubling the number of options. The same can be said about the new maps. Snowy cabins, Roman coliseums, and theme parks certainly create a broader view of the game's universe, but the lack of a cohesive theme creates shallow impressions. The best online shooters often have recognizable choke points and advantages, and while these somewhat exist in Garden Warfare, their purpose is muddied by wide open environments. Players can be shot from nearly every location, with the only real deterrent being large walls. This is made more frustrating by nearly every character's sluggish walking speed, and no, you can't sprint. Though this does make for a more approachable experience, it can come at the cost of real depth. But the highlight of Garden Warfare 2 is its outrageous art design and animation. In a word, it's colorful, with an onslaught of hues and temperatures. The character's transition from two-dimensional flash art to lively 3D models is an overwhelming success. If nothing else, it's just plain fun to watch. But this comes at a cost. Garden Warfare doesn't feature a standard minimap for locating enemies and allies. Instead, small icons appear over the player's view. The problem is, the images are often difficult to identify and don't reference distance. They only clutter up the perspective. Worse yet, players can customize the look of their avatars with many of the costumes available for both plants and zombies. Though this is a fun concept in theory, this covers up many of the distinguishing features of the roster, making it challenging to recognize friend from foe. Now layer the constant visual effects from player attacks, and you're left with a visual spectacle and a confusing gameplay experience. So, is it worth it? No. Younger players will probably find the goofy gameplay of Garden Warfare 2 to be fun, fast, and fair. And with so many online shooters featuring mature content, it's great to see a family-friendly alternative. Unfortunately, more discerning tastes will quickly see through its visual bombardment and limited gameplay. Garden Warfare 2 thoughtfully evolves the original base mechanics with its new additions to the cast and light single-player modes. But with so many of the concepts left untouched, the overall experience feels more like an expansion than a true sequel. Yes, it has its charms, but its potential is unfulfilled. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 is currently available on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. If you've had a chance to play it, let me know what you thought, and if you haven't, let me know if you plan on picking it up. My name is Colin Tanner, and I'll see you in the next video.